scoring game. I think we've lacked a little bit defensively, but offensively we've been really good.
And what are you making of Hunter and McKernan in the ruck?
Yeah, they've had pretty big impact so far, so they're both fitting in seamlessly and going well.
Hunter's only been with the club for about 3 weeks, you were saying?
Yeah, he's just come over from South Adelaide and he's fitted in really well and he's been pretty impressive tonight.
All the best with your rehab.
Thanks, Kath. Cheers.
Thank you, Kath. Rowan Marshall, what a revelation he's been in the last couple of years. And speaking of revelations, what Max King could be for St Kilda. He takes the mark and he's going to get an opportunity here to kick his 3rd goal.
Yeah, great to see. 22 goals last season, Hutto. The knock on him, we know he's a young player, we'll take that into consideration. He took 25 marks inside 50 last year. The exciting thing is he probably had about 100 cracks at it. So once he completes those marks, he's more than capable of kicking 50 goals this year, which is no mean feat for a young player still under the age of 21. Young key forward. It's never been harder in the history of the game to play as a key forward.
Well, that could change, couldn't it? We could, again, we're jumping to conclusions after one game, but if scoring does open up a little bit, we could see key forwards kick more bags of goals, which would be a great thing.
Absolutely, no doubt about those kicking lanes for the kickers to go to the forwards and the forwards to get a bit more creative with their leads, or certainly lead a bit more instinctively is a good sign. What I like about this fella, Hutto, is he identifies the drop zone early. And you can see there he gets to the right spot. He's able to shake off Jones. I think he's got good body positioning for a younger player. And yes, look at that body. He's only going to get stronger and stronger. So 22 goals last year, second only to Dan Butler. It's a really good effort, and you expect him to improve on then get that again this year. And of course, more games and longer quarters.
7 times he was a multiple goal kicker last year, 5 times goalless. 22 goals, 20 as we saw. Bytel's on the ground and he's delivering St Kilda forward. Sard put that to an end, and now Williamson's able to work his way through and posting up the big guy Pitnet off to Curnow. And the Blues spreading across the ground on their advance forward. Setterfield for Cripps, who takes the mark. Just tried his luck a little as he went with the momentum into Wilkes.
No, that looked pretty simple, Paddy Cripps, but didn't know what was coming the other way then. It was a brave effort.
Just pulls the kick a fraction. End up at Fisher, can't take the marks. Sinclair found a way to just get a little bit further forward. Battle got it through the middle now. Butler to see what's ahead. Full head of steam. Puts the ball out in front of McKenzie, who should be full of energy. He's been on the bench all night. He comes on and probably gets run down by Setterfield. Butler kept on going at it. So everyone who hasn't been on the ground, I think, is just about out there now. Maybe bar Gibbons and Wood for their respective teams. Steele with the back pedal. Long. That's a rain-making of a kick. Tough one for Higgins. He's almost taken the mark. He came offside at the right time, but just couldn't complete the job. Curnow.
Just going to say, Hutto, I love coming to the football where you get to fully appreciate the running abilities of the players. Dan Butler's running capabilities are unbelievable, and at high speed as well. We've lauded Brad Hill's performances at high speed, but Dan Butler is impressive.
High ball from Sinclair, who's also been outstanding tonight. So, not sure if Mason Wood is. Look by the look of that. Not sure he's going to come on at all.
4 goals last week against North Melbourne, his old club.
Margin 24. St Kilda attacking. High ball out of there from Doherty. Well handled by Moore. Shuffles the handball to Dow. More of the same. That was good. They've got it to the centre. Powerman has to bide his time a bit.
Pushing it back.
Is it going to come back?
Carlton. Advantage.
So that's curious. He was kicking it back to the player to take behind the mark, and the umpire says advantage. Gang tackled was Williamson, and he didn't have a lot of hope. Not sure about all of that. Howard gifted some space ahead, and he takes full advantage. Driving kick, Saad got there at the right moment to disrupt Higgins, who's waiting for the handball, and it came to him. Oh, but Jones was waiting for the handball as well, and he knew exactly what to do.
He's out of his weight class then. Higgins.
Bang.
Crunch.
He started Origin game out this year. Hutto?
Yeah.
It's a start of Origin tackle. Rugby league.
McKenzie off the left. Curls one back to the square.
Tim Mark, hold the knee until the ball's thrown.
Saints doing all the attacking at the start of this final term. 16-8 to 12-8.
You.
Martin handed it off to Doherty.
One. Mark. Paul. Landing there.
Hunter and Pitnet again. Steele. Straddling the boundary, Jack Martin. A little quiet tonight. Started to get into the game a bit more in that third term. 12 goals, 11 in 15 games last year.
Yeah, he looked good when he was forward. He kicked 4 in his first game, and he spent a lot of time up forward. So you'd imagine between him and Paddy Cripps, they're going to need to hit the scoreboard a fair bit.
About 3/4 of his time was spent forward. He rated above average for most key areas as a general forward to Jack Martin. Cripps. Dow came at the right moment. Tosses it up for more. In the end, had his back turned to the footy when it absolutely needed to be looking the other way. So it didn't quite come together for him as Caulfield gets some respite for the Saints with Ben Long.
Well, both holding call from the umpire. I always found that one an interesting one. Someone had to initiate it. Someone had to hold first.
Well, do they? Can't you both hang on at the same time? Sorry to split hairs.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Membry. Searching kick for battle. Jones again. Got his timing right. Loney with a little bounce pass. And Billings engulfed in the Saad tackle.
Yeah, fatigue's starting to play a part now for both sides this last quarter. For fair reason too. It was a frenetic pace in the first half.
Tim Membry, hold the meter.
104 to 80. Pitnet thought about grabbing it. Curnow. Ross batters off Dow. Back to the goal square we go. Jones. That courage again displayed. And the marking skill.
Move it on. Play on.
Waits for Moore to get to the right spot. This is where he is now. Just can't take the mark under pressure. Stays in though. And he realised that and shows a bit to Hill and gets away. Cal Moore. Unfortunately, the kick didn't help out his teammates. Webster already into attacking mode. McKenzie, who didn't play a senior game last year, takes it wide for Membry, has Ross in hand. Loney, and then Billings. Oh, certainly testing the fitness. Everyone just takes a little break as Billings decides to use all his time. McKernan's in the goal square. Smashed out of there by Williamson, and it falls for Ross. And back we go again. Martin from behind handled it well.
Stand. Wait. Move it on. Play on.
Drills the pass to Fogarty.
Play on.
Doherty, he's got O'Brien out this side.
Play on. Go.
Couple of options for Lockie. He finds Murphy at the most extreme left. From the wing to half forward to Cunningham. Spotted a man deep in the goal square. Kerno couldn't take it. Well done, Sinclair. Caulfield, McKenzie, Fisher hunting him. Cripps, the hands were terrific. Around the corner, Fisher. It's going to bounce. Stay in the field of play. And Hills able to just caress the ball nicely to Ross.
Played a bit more half-back tonight, Jack Sinclair.
Yeah, I think that's his spot now. That's what they're talking about. And he looks at home there, really, doesn't he?
Yep. It's dangerous at centre bounces coming off the back of the centre square.
Elite runner.
Clark had to retreat fractionally. Long by hand this time. Caulfield's kick ends at centre half forward. Sard. Barge through, kept on going. He might get it back here from Fisher. It's in good hands. He delivers one more onto the inside. Fogarty back out to Murphy. Helps when your opponent falls over. Poor old Dougal Howard has handed Murphy a goal.
What happened there with Dougal Howard? Got his legs crossed up.
And Mason Wood is going to come on. Mark Murphy.
And Brett Ratton might have had a look at some of the fatigue setting in some of the players.
It's his second goal. Back to 18 points. They're still in the game.
It's had a pretty good night, Murph. 19 disposals, 2 goals. Permanent forward this year.
And good decision, I think, from Mark Murphy and Carlton Football Club to keep going, keep playing. Not that that was ever really in doubt, but I think with a player like Kate Simpson moving on, you can lose too much experience at once, and
they're pretty young side.
They are. Still going all right, Kate Simpson too, mind you.
Saints nudge it forward. Oh, Butler almost got the ball to go with him, not quite. Good turn of speed from Williamson. Now O'Brien, back inside to Doherty and then to the out. Martin was moving, just again couldn't get the footy to come with him as cleanly as he would have liked. Walsh to Murphy, little by little the Blues. More of the same. O'Brien onto the left, drills the pass, it's there to be taken. Cripps. Fossick for the ball. Oh, he had it and it got out the back. Highmore is over the top. Play on. Fogarty, top of the goal square, centre field. Ball could go anywhere. McKenzie, centre field. Tries to turn and take it with him. McKenzie does not give an inch. And we'll have a ball up.
That's where we saw Carlton were dangerous in the first half. These forward 50 stoppages, getting on the move. Zach Williams especially.
Block, St Kilda. St Kilda 3. Play on advantage, you. Didn't touch the ball at all. Stand. Play on.
Delayed advantage. Billings has the mark.
Play on.
Sinclair. Ooh, little tall for Highmore. Murphy, he wanted to kick it. There was nothing to kick to. Cripps had the same issue and he had pressure all around. And suddenly Webster can bring it into the middle. Hunter made it a decision for Long and he didn't have Long. And he was quickly gobbled up. Martin this time was the tackler, feeding it quickly. Plowman. Silvani!
Oh, yes.
Not quite his old man at the MCG, jumping over the pack. Come on, Sauce. Give us something.
Joe sucking, Sauce. Come on. There's a bit of a smile there from Joe.
Yeah, Joe was happy.
Yeah, Joe's happy.
Well done, Joe. Lovely mark.
It's been good, especially the second half. He's looked really dangerous in the forward line.
Silvani for his third goal. And the Blues get back to within 12 points.
Yeah, that's a good night.
Even Joe says, come on. Come on, old fella.
Wouldn't want to play poker with Sauce. Yeah, that's a good night. Jack, 15 possessions now, 3 goals. That third quarter, he looked really lively in the forward half. Him and Zach Fisher really set them alight. It's just a nice little hang.
They're really pressing now, the Blue Baggers, aren't they? The last 5 minutes, they've got momentum.
And the Blues fans are making a bit of noise.
Come on, Sauce. Even Joe recognises giving donuts. A bit of a hip and shoulder.
Thump in the middle of the ground. Pitnick gets it. Opportunity to bounce for Carlton. Curnow drills it. They're full of energy still. And that's a free kick. Going to Highmore. Tommy Highmore.
Very generous. I agree with the Carlton supporters there. I thought that hit the ground.
Move it on. Play on. You. Stand!
Just enough on the kick. And there is Mason Wood up, taking the mark. He's got the talent to play at this level. That won't help his confidence. Kicks it out on the full. His first kick for the Saints.
On the line! On the line! Get on the line, please. Right on the line. Thank you.
Kicked 4 goals in a game against Richmond as recently as 2019, Mason Wood. It's the 8 games last year. 65 games for 76 goals across 8 years at North.
Mark, halt.
Paddy Cripps up to 18 disposals. There's Mason Wood. He's going to get 10 or 12 minutes to show his wares. Billings, Sinclair, shoveling handballs. Highmore tidied it up nicely.
Stand! Stand!
Jack Bartel.
I'm here.
Came onto the scene last year. Made an excellent debut against the Cats. He had 18 disposals. The great goal in the practice match last week as well by Tao. Good shovel by McKernan. Sends Ross on his way. Back to the square. Battle. Williamson to Saad. Still got running those legs. Maybe not quite as much as earlier. Bangs it up. Silvani again. Good body strength against a willing competitor in Wilkie.
He's been outstanding.
Fisher darts. O'Brien feeding it wide to Cunningham. He's taken it straight away. He wasn't waiting. The goal was there and he takes it. Oh, the Blues fans find their voice. They're back within 6 points. That's all in good fun.
And they're defending so much better than they did in the first half. Stern Butler looks like he's now in a bit of trouble.
It's the main concern on the night, isn't it, really?
Both sides. Again, Silvani involved, the ability to take that contested mark on the wing. We know how important that's become in modern footy because you're able to really launch off that play. And just players seem instinctively to be going. Cunningham there just rolls. You wonder whether subconsciously in the back of their mind they know the man on the mark's not the threat he was. So they're rolling with confidence, and that's a great finish. 3 in a row for the Blues, 5 of the last 6. All the momentum.
I think that might be some cramp, really, or do you think it's more serious?
Looks like they're just getting straight into him with a bit of massage. Dan Butler. So if they were concerned about a soft tissue injury, they wouldn't be massaging.
The Saints need to respond. You talked about earlier about rehearsing situations. And no 4 points up for grabs, but they won't want to lose after being in front all night. Steele, driving kick. McKernan not quite. Higgins almost got decapitated. Well, Billings has taken the advantage, and it certainly wasn't And McKernan just scrambles a kick forward, and there's a terrific mark, and he plays on Membry. And somehow they kick the goal, despite doing their best to give Carlton every opportunity to win the ball back.
Well, they're the little learning moments, Hutto.
Not sure about that advantage there. It's too off the umpire to blow the whistle. I know they're going to go in the end, but umpire's going to have the lenience in the 450, I think.
Even there, though, when you are a goal up, go back and you're going to be going 2 goals up. Take your 30 seconds.
Yep, there's multiple reasons, isn't there? I mean, why do you play on there anyway, Rui?
Well, we've seen it all the time.
Looked at the practice match last week. Paddy Cripps marked the same spot, went back to take a set shot 25, 30 metres out, kicked it across the body. He kicked the goal, but why give up 15 metres? 12 points again. Tiny bit of breathing space for the Saints. A few bodies tired now, and it's showing. Steele. Possession 27. Mason Wood should be full of beans. That's a better kick. Good target. He was able to find. Higgins bursting from half forward. Deep to the square. Good marking options. Free kick. Either to Membry or to McKernan. Let's go to McKernan.
Tell you what they would be happy is the return of Hunter Clark. And he's actually numbers. We're asking the question, is he capable of being a full-time midfielder? 15 contested possessions, 13 ground ball gets, 8 clearances. Probably gone under the radar a bit, but that's great signs for St Kilda supporters.
McKernan. Misses. 6 years at Adelaide for 34 games and 21 goals. 6 years at Essendon for 53 games and 51 goals. 16 games in a season. Once at Adelaide and once at Essendon. His most. Oh, Sard, he's butchered that on the way out. Higgins, just the one step and then gave it everything he could. Hopefully Petrevski-Seton's okay. He might have just winded himself in his desperation. Or corked himself, one or the other. The lead out to 14 now. Pitnet.
Play on.
Good hands down. Fogarty, Williams. He had one bounce. Didn't quite get there for a second. He wants it to go end and roll through. Wasn't far off. Had an outstanding first half, Zach Williams.
It's been all turnovers and stoppage scores tonight. That was the first score from a kick-in. Both teams now use all 18 men to defend that. I wonder what strings you could possibly pull to try and open that part of the game up.
Howard to the wing. Hunter was the target. Mason Wood. How do you assess Oscar McDonald?
Thanks, Paul. Mark and Paul.
He's gone out of the game a little bit in the second half, but yeah, I think they would have seen enough. If they're looking for that guy that can provide depth as a key forward target that could pinch in the ruck, they could certainly fill that role.
They're not the worst return. 11 disposals, 2 goals, Rui, is it?
I suppose the clubs have got to hedge their bets a little bit with the possibility of someone bobbing up for the mid-season draft as well. So do you want to keep that spot open?
McKenzie, centering ball, Ross. To Sinclair, could just squeeze a kick out. Maybe put the game to bed. And it looks like the Saints are going to get the win they probably deserve, having been in front all night. Jack Sinclair has been a standout. 28 disposals. He's capped it off with a goal, 7 inside 50s.
He's playing as half-backer. Been really impressive. We mentioned him before. He's leading possession when on the ground. He's had 3 clearances himself as well, but 7 inside 50s, floating off half-back. Really impressive. Changing his positioning.
The point you're making, Roo, is a good one about a lot of clubs are in different situations. Some have a need where they need to fill because they've got multiple players in the same position that are injured. Others have a bit more of a luxury. And because the expectation is that they probably have missed a couple of players in the draft because the Victorian kids basically didn't play.
And even senior leagues around the country as well. There's not as much exposed form as we're used to having. So there could be a few absolute diamonds in the rough out there that don't emerge until halfway through the year once the state leagues get up and running again. So that is the consideration the clubs need to make. And I would think unless they are actually filling a real hole in their list or current need, then clubs would defer and wait.
Patrick, back to the line, please. Patrick,
Wilkie puts paid to
stand. Play on.
immediate goal out of the middle for Carlton.
You?
Martin. Plowman invited the Saints in. Lovely spin from Billings and gets it to the outside. McKenzie. Higgins ahead of the play here. He sees the goals. Or did he pass it? They'll say he passed it. McKernan takes them out.
Well, generous, Hutto. Very generous early in the year. Oh, Snags. You don't get that sort of nickname passing them off inside 50.
So McKernan. 11 disposals. And kicks his first for the night. And it looks as if the Saints are going to win by around about that 3 or 4 goal margin. How are we going to assess from both teams? The biggest worry for Carlton is 3 injuries, hopefully none of them serious. There's St Kilda's first month ahead, their round 1 clash is with the Giants. They have a tough draw, don't they, the Saints?
Yeah, they do. Well, that's based on last year's form, assuming that all the teams perform to a similar level. So, yeah, those first 3 are going to be really important because after that, I think, comes West Coast, Port Adelaide, Richmond. So it's a tough stretch to follow.
3 at Marvel Stadium, though.
Yep.
They're all gettable, absolutely. So if they're going to be a top 4 contender, as some people think, they've got to beat those teams. It's Carlton's first month. Solid start, Richmond and Collingwood.
How big is that round 1 clash against Richmond going to be? It always is. It obviously depends on what the capacity is going to be, whether it might end up being a little more than 50%.
Play on.
McDonald can take it with him, and Higgins has drawn a free kick for a high tackle against Jack Martin.
Jack, come around, please. Jack Higgins.
As expected when they drafted, he's added great energy to the club too. I think they're delighted with what he brings. I don't know if he's bought the joke book from Richmond or not really.
Right, 15 gone.
Don't know, Hutto. Find out. It's a good return tonight.
Yeah, very good. Just 1 goal, 1 goal 3. Just annoy him a little bit. Snags.
Play on.
Saad.
Go.
I wonder how far he could get from a kick in if they gave him the right protection. Oh, Petnat lets it behind. And they open up a running lane for Hill, which he's happy to take, and then he kicks it into the pocket. And Higgins might have had another opportunity to kick a goal there. Dangerous handball from Saad.
Down. Just let it go, let it go. Watch him. Take the kick.
Take it.
Clear out. Stand.
Not sure they've got much energy left for a full-on wrestle at this stage of the night.
Stand.
Last 20 seconds. St Kilda have well and truly gone past the 100 mark. Carlton are on 99. Could we have both teams getting past the 100? Blues have got to take it the full length. It's unlikely with 10 seconds to go. Cunningham. Up to the wing. Silvani with a juggler. Recognises there's not long to go. Martin crawl a little along the line to Curnow. And the siren sounds. An entertaining night, an exhausting night for the players, a long night in terms of minutes. And a lot of goals for the fans to enjoy. I'm sure the AFL would be happy with how it's opened the game up. There'll be some tired boys at the end of it, some concerns over a number of players for both teams with injury. 130 minutes it went in total, really.
It's a big jump, isn't it, Ardo? It's a big jump from last year, from shortened games where we struggled to get to 100 off a shortened pre-season and not as many games. So that is going to become the norm this year if we, which we assume we will, stay at 20-minute quarters. And that is also assuming that teams kick a combined 34 goals between them, which I think we've got
8-1 to 5-1 in the first quarter.
Yeah, accurate.
It was played at a frantic pace too. It was great to see. It's definitely optimism about the new rule, what it can create. And it's not just about the rule. I think the general vibe of the competition, you look at Richmond. Richmond play a sort of explosive brand of football, and you feel as if teams are going to try and mimic that. We always say it's a copycat league, really, but it seems as if sides are more encouraged to get the ball flowing a little bit quicker.
Yeah, well, these two sides clearly want to play an attacking brand. We know Port Adelaide last year, they were brilliant. They were so good to watch with their ball movement, the power. So, yeah, you just wonder whether there is a bit of a shift back towards not all-out attack, but a bit more balance between the two.
I think they'll be pretty happy. They've got to be aiming, they would have to be aiming for top four, really. If you win a final last year, you bolster your list with more players come in. Brad Crouch is the best and fairest winner in another club in the prime of his career. They've got to be aiming high this year.
Yeah, look, I think both clubs would be really pleased with what they saw tonight. So they'll take away plenty of positives out of the contest. Let's hope that those injury concerns aren't too severe and doesn't impact them too much for round one. But St Kilda definitely in the first half, they played some brilliant football, and I thought Carlton's response, the way they dominated field position in that third quarter defensively, they really tightened up. They had some good ball movement. Some of their players that they would be hoping would take a step this year, players like Jack Silvani, Zach Fisher, who's missed a bit of footy over the last few years. I thought their recruits were good. Sarden Williams impacted the game, so plenty to like for both sides with players coming back in.
The big question mark for the Blues will be the forwards. Right, the key forwards. Harry Mackay, lots rests on his shoulders. Can he be ably supported by big Casbolt when he comes back in? Can McGovern contribute a bit more than he has in the past?